Let's look at solving linear equations. Now, the trick to solving linear equations is to make sure that you do the steps in the right order. And here's an easy way to remember it. Well, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to look to see if there's anything that you can distribute. And after you distribute, then what you're going to do is you're going to combine like terms. And after you combine like terms, what you're going to do is you're going to move the x's to one side, whatever the variable is, that is. And after you move the x's to one side, you're going to move everything else to the other. So the numbers other than x. What I mean by the other side is whatever side you didn't get the x's on. And then after you do that, you're going to solve the equation, usually by dividing or multiplying. And an easy way to remember that is you're going to go distribute, combine, move the x's, move the y's, and solve. And the way that I remember that is disco move moves. Disco move moves. Distribute, combine like terms, move the x's, move the numbers, and solve. So let's look at just a couple examples. And let's look at them increasing hard. Well, probably the easy example is something that looks like this. 2/3 x plus 10 is equal to 24. Well, let's just go through this. Is there anything to distribute? Well, there's nothing to distribute, so let's look and see if there's anything to combine like terms. Well, to combine like terms, you look at this side of the equation to see if there's anything to combine, and this side of the equation to see if anything to combine. There's not. So now let's move the x's to one side and move the numbers to the other. Well, the only x is here, so it's already here, so let's leave it here and let's move the 10 over there. So you can subtract 10 from both sides, and you get 2/3 x is equal to 14. Now you're going to solve. In this case, you're going to solve. You're going to divide by 2/3, but it turns out dividing by 2/3 is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal, so you can multiply by 3/2. That becomes 6 over 6, so that just becomes x. This is 14 over 1, so that's 14 times 3 divided by 2 over 1. Or you can cross cancel, that becomes a 7 and that becomes a 1. Your answer is 21. How do you check it? Check it, you just plug it into the original problem. 2/3 times 21 plus 10 is 24. That's 21 over 1. That's 42 over 3, or you can go 7. That's 14 plus 10 is 24, which of course is correct. That's the easiest type problem, really, in a sense. The second type of problem that you're going to have is 3x plus 5 is equal to 5x. Let's do plus 21. So first we're going to distribute. There's nothing to distribute. Then we're going to combine like terms. So let's look at this side of the equation. There's nothing to combine. This side, there's nothing to combine, so that's fine. Now we're going to move the x's to one side. Now it doesn't matter which side you move the x's to. You can either move the 5x to this side or the 3x to this side, and it doesn't matter. In this case, I'm going to move the 3x here to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides, and I get 2x plus 21. And now, since I moved the x's to this side, I want to move the numbers to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 21, and I get minus 16 is equal to 2x. And then I'm going to solve it by either dividing or multiplying by the reciprocal. In this case, I'm going to divide this side by 2 and this side by 2, and I get x is equal to minus 8. Check it. You just plug it in. 3x plus 5. 5x plus 21. Plug in the minus 8. That's minus 24 plus 5, minus 40 plus 21. That looks like a minus 19. Minus 19, that's correct. Third type of problem might be a little more complicated. This is where the disco moo kind of gets useful because you can think about what to do first. Well, the very first thing to do here is to distribute. So you can distribute this across, and you get 8x plus 12 plus 10, 8x plus 2. So that's 8x plus 22 is equal to 8x plus 2. Now move the x's to one side, so I'm going to move the x's over here, so I'm going to subtract 8x and subtract 8x. And I get 22 is equal to 2. Now if you notice this, you can think of this as a trick problem. It's not really a trick problem, it just means something, but that's the way you can think about it if you want to. When does 22 equal to 2? 22 is equal to never. So here there's no solution, or for reasons that are going to become clear later, we're going to say no real solution. Do another quick example, and then we'll end this up. Let's do 6, 3 minus 2x plus 4x is equal to 2, x plus 3 plus 5. About as hard as a simple linear equation gets. First thing we're going to do is distribute. 18 minus 12x plus 4x is equal to 2x plus 6 plus 5. Combine like terms. Combine like terms means that you look only at one side of the equation to see if there's anything that can be combined, right? Any like terms. The minus 12x and the 4x can be combined, so that's 18 minus, that'll be 8x. Let's look at this side of the equation. 2x plus 6 plus 5. 6 and 5 are like terms, so that's 2x plus 11. After you distribute and combine like terms, you're going to move the x's to one side. It doesn't matter which side to move them to. This time I'm going to move them over here, so I'm going to add 8x and add 8x. And I get 18 is equal to 10x plus 11. Move the numbers to the other side. Since I moved the x's here, I'll move the numbers over here. So I'll subtract 11 from both sides, and I get 7 is equal to 10x. Now we're going to solve. In this case, I'm going to solve by dividing, so I divide by 10. Get x is equal to 7/10. If I want to check it, I just plug this back in the problem. And that's how you solve linear equations.